What's good, party people? Today, I met with a girl. So, my whole stance on dating is I don't believe in dating. So, whatever she labeled it as for today, be it a date or not, doesn't concern me. Alright, so I arrive at the venue late, kind of wanting to make an entrance. That's my style. Gave her my number if I was running super late. So, there's always that opportunity because I don't use data here. I just rely on Wi-Fi. Points to note. If you make a plan to remake that plan. The venue changed, so you got to think on the fly, which I did. Yeah, I know most of you guys out there think, okay, 80-20, 80-20. Start with that, and then when you find that she just starts talking, cool. And then, for me, I kind of like the silence because that shows who's in control. If the silence is unbearable and she asks something out of the blue before you do, then it's pretty obvious that she's nervous. But it's cool because you're the guy and you're meant to be there to adapt to the situation. I wouldn't say that like a particular topic is out of whack, like totally left field. As long as you deliver with confidence and approach it that is just two people having a conversation, getting to know each other better, then you'll be fine. If you find that you need to venue bounce, lead the way. This shit is obvious, man. If you're a newbie, then obviously you're gonna be nervous and shit, alright? So all I'm saying is be prepared. If you've got nothing to talk about, just whatever, man. Write some crib notes in your smartphone. All smartphones have notepad and you can take a picture. So like, I don't know, you can write on a notepad, a physical notepad, points of conversation, take a picture of that. If you're really desperate, pull out your phone, look at your picture, and scan through some topics of conversation that you haven't talked about yet. Not saying I did that today, I'm just saying that's something to do so that you don't need to make observation for conversation because that can be a bit whack sometimes. If you're moving from venue to venue, that makes sense because that's in the moment. But if you're sitting down opposite each other and you make a observation about something going on at another table, then that can be a bit weird. If you go in there with like a presupposition of how she's going to treat you, then you've already lost. Okay? You got to go in there not having any expectations. I'm not saying front and try and act too cool. I'm just saying you got to relax. Now, the whole be yourself term is a bit, it needs adjusting. But if you're uncomfortable around people in general, then how are you going to be in front of a girl one-on-one? So for those people, I would suggest just start talking to anybody, male or female. Again, another obvious point. Don't always look for IOIs because that shit will just make you paranoid. Okay? That is so, whatever it was, 2000s to do that shit. You're in the moment, be in the moment, carry the conversation, and be interested in what she has to say. With 80-20, I would say it's cool to talk about yourself and your aspirations and your interests, because that's how you kickstart the whole conversation for down the line. So don't feel like you're being egotistical or arrogant just by talking about yourself. What you're being is slightly different, because what do most guys do? Where are you from? Where do you live? What do you do for a job? How long have you been doing it? Where did you go to school? Fucking interview style. Alright. As far as I can remember, that didn't happen today. If you're going to throw things out there, make sure you have something to back it up with. Such as, I went into how I feel that there's certain people these days, which I call the smartphone generation, where they care about how many likes they get on a particular post or a video that they do. Whereas for me, it's just a release mechanism, as in a channel for me to express myself. And whether someone favors it or doesn't favor it, then they're entitled to that opinion. And that's all it is. That's one person's opinion. And that's not going to rule my life. And yeah, big thing. All you newbies out there, do not be afraid of conflict. Conflict is good. It shows that she's not just agreeing with you, which I absolutely hate, where you're doing 80-20 and she's just there nodding away and saying, yeah, I agree, or yeah, I've been there before, or oh, I'd like to go there, that kind of shit. That's just the most annoying kind of conversation to have with anybody, not just a girl. If you throw something out there, which is like an internalized belief, and she disagrees, then you can ask for her opinion about it. And then that's where she'll start to open up, and she'll really decide whether or not this person that she's talking to has, some cojones, yeah? Or is this guy just another fucking guy looking to get laid? Or is he just another closet pervert, etc.? Alright, cool, yeah? All guys, fundamentally, I won't say evolutionarily, but fundamentally, we want to get laid, okay? Girls know this. It's about how you play it. Are you desperate, where anything with legs will do? Or do you have class? Do you have requirements? Are you picky? If you're going to go on, I hate the word date. If you're going to go and meet a girl and have this expectation of, oh, if I don't do well in this, then my chances for next month are going to be slim. So I have to really show my best. Once you have that mentality, then you're done. It's just not going to work out for you. You got to be in the moment, adapt to the situation, deliver what you want to say confidently, and no matter what comes back at you, stand your ground. That is a true characteristic of a man. Okay, just to summarize, when it came to making our separate ways, I know some of you will go for like a hug close or some shit like that, okay? It doesn't matter if you do or don't. It's not an indicator of interest or disinterest if she doesn't do it. All right. It has to be in the moment. All right. If you didn't get one, it doesn't mean that she's not interested. If you didn't get one, it doesn't mean that she is interested. Like, it doesn't mean anything. Okay. It's like a day-to-day thing. Like, what am I saying here? When two people depart and go their separate ways, that's just it. It just happens. And if you're just getting to know someone as well, my whole point is, don't seek it, and then if you don't get it, kind of feel, oh shit, she rejected me. All right. I guess if you're new at this, for calibration purposes, if you're not too sure how the few hours that you spent together went, just for future calibration purposes, I would suggest maybe approaching with like a hug close or something like that. And then gauge from there how you think emotionally, where were you, as well as how the whole situation kind of panned out. And then with future encounters, you can just basically like be indifferent about it. Like, if it happens, it happens. If the mood creates itself, then it happens. Then, good for both of you. But if you're a bit more further down the line, if it doesn't happen, you just be like, okay, cool. It's cool. Yeah. I want you to get the whole thing behind this is that it really doesn't matter. As long as, you're not fucking being a complete idiot and a complete asshole. As long as there's that roller coaster, and as long as you stand your ground, throw in humor, that's another thing. You can't just be serious and, I don't know, if you're into politics, fucking start talking about politics from beginning to end. You need to make the conversation flow. You need to have peaks and troughs. Because otherwise, it's not a journey, it's just flat. It's just a fucking lecture or a job interview. Alright? So, I think I've repeated myself enough in this video. Take from it what you will. I'm going to get some sleep now because it's past midnight. Well, I say that. I'm going to probably do some things first. And yeah, boy. Until next time. Peace.